I am so excited that y'all were able to give me some time para poder hablar. You know, I'm here with Sandy and Adialyn Milien. Is it Milien or Milien?
You got it right the first time, I think. I mean, it's a French last name, so it's supposed to be Milien,
Okay,
but it's okay.
Milien. You know, and I just came from Montreal, right? So, mhm, they speak French there. They speak Quebecois. So
Yeah.
anyway, so I'm just, if y'all don't know who these women are, I mean, I don't know where you've been. But, aquí tenemos a Sandy, who is now la canóniga Sandy, Canon.
I know.
Ooh, and I'm sure she'll tell us a little bit more about that. But, honey. And we have Adia, who is now part of the House of Bishops president. Is that House of
No,
Bishops president? Is
the the House of Deputy. I don't think Julie is a bishop yet, so
House of Deputies President Staff.
yeah.
So, I mean, we have two incredible leaders in the church, and not only because of their positions. And like I was telling them earlier, I am sure they're going to keep going up and up and up, but these positions are high, y'all. So, just FYI, tienen que conocerlas bien porque están, arriba, 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 ra, ra, ra. All right, so I'm just gonna start, asking y'all questions. As y'all know, I'm very curious, soy muy curiosa, me encanta saber más de ustedes. First of all, ladies, I just want to know about the hair.
Ooh,
I want
stop
to hear
it.
it. Come on, look at that. Look at the hair for both of them. I mean,
Look at
this
Sandy.
this is what a Latina looks like. This is what an Afro Latina looks like. This is what the church looks like. This is what we hope we would see at every single church that we go to, right? So, this is the church. I'm so excited for y'all to be part of this church. Please tell me how did y'all come to the Episcopal Church?
I think you're the oldest, so you go first.
Of course. Well, our story starts not in the Dominican Republic, but in Haiti, which is Haiti. And we come from a long line of priests and leaders in the Episcopal Church. Our grandfather started the Episcopal Church in the town where my family is from in Haiti. I think that from that, many more generations started to get involved in the church. And we have cousins that are priests in Haiti. We have cousins that are priests are becoming priests in the Dominican Republic. We have second cousins, first cousins. There's a little bit of everything in the church that belongs to the Milien. So there's Miliens with two L's and Miliens with one L because of, in Haiti, you go to get your birth certificate and then they write it the way they feel like it is. So
But we're all the same family.
exactly. Well, we're all the same family. And so from there, it just goes on and on. So it's just we were born in the Episcopal Church. We love it. And we just want to do more to make it better every day.
Yeah. And then you have both of our parents who are Episcopal priests. So our first encounter with the Episcopal Church was them. Well, my dad first, and then my mom when she became a priest. So it's literally in our DNA. The first memory I have as a child is actually of church. I was sleeping, but I woke up and then I remember that I'm in church. It was hot in the Dominican Republic, so you fall asleep as a baby. But I think maybe for Adi as well, her first memory is of being at church, trying to go to where my dad is preaching in la iglesia. She loved to be so close to him, un acolito. She's like, oh no, ese es mi papá. I want to go and be with him while I was chilling in the back with mom, sleeping. But it's just them. Their ministry has been such a wonderful thing to follow and a hard thing to follow because it's big shoes to follow. And it's what we breathe, it's what we eat, is part of who we are, and we love it. Like Adia said, we really, really love what we do. And not for us, for Jesus, of course. It's not for us, it's for Jesus, and for, like you said at the beginning, right? this is what the church looks like. And we're hoping that by being us, completely and genuinely us, we're able to begin seeing the kingdom of God, realizado en la tierra through us, right? By us, with us, all of the things. But the Episcopal Church is who we are.
Yeah, I second that. I just want to add that a lot of people say, oh, it's because you were born into it that you do it, but it's not, because there has been many instances in our lives that we had the opportunity to leave the church because maybe it did not reflect who we were in that moment of our lives. But the thing is, like, our parents taught us that you follow Jesus not because of the church or the religion where you are, but because of your relationship with him. And we have learned to love Jesus, like the real one.
What do you
Like
mean?
the one bishop, our president Bishop Michael Curry talks about, right? That Jesus. And so because of that Jesus, we still remain in the church and we still work in the church, even though we don't agree with everything that our church does, but we love the path, at least where it is, and it's trying to go. And we want to be part of that church change,
Just recently I saw your mom in an event, and I asked them, so when are your kids gonna be pastors, right? When are they gonna get ordained? And then she was like, oh, none of them think that they have the call. I was like, it's just a matter of time. I just know that caller's coming to one of y'all or all three of y'all, but
That's for the one that's not here.
I'm sure you get that a lot, right? It's like, let us be lay people, right? But I mean, I'm sure you get this all the time. Tell me about that.
I get that all the time, especially, in my role. I mean, I work in a diocesan office. I think everything I've done after college even in college, has been associated with the church, and in a very close proximity with clergy and bishops. And then people see a young Latina, full of energy, loving Jesus and not loving the institution. And they just immediately think, oh my gosh, so when are you going to seminary? And it's actually wonderful to see that people see something in us that they want us to be in such leadership roles. But we've always talked about, at least the three of us with my brother, that we love being lay people. We love the power that we have in the church. We love the power that we have in our parishes, in the whole, when we gather with all Episcopalians, because it is important that we continue to empower lay people to see their value, because there has been so many instances that people see the value of clergy more than the value of lay people, and I think we're doing so much more I feel like than we could have if wearing a collar. I mean, it's wonderful and we love clergy, love to work with clergy, but at this moment in my life, I hung up that call. I said, Jesus, no, not today, God. You can never say no, but I feel like my calling right now in this moment in the season of my life is to be a lay leader, a lay Latina that is empowering and encouraging other people to follow a Jesus of justice, a Jesus that says, yes, we're gonna work. And we're going to make sure that all that are around us are seen, are heard, and are part of this wonderful community that is about, loving one another, and trying to figure out how do we work and how do we live as a community.
Yeah. We have a saying that says that good clergy can build a good congregation, but they cannot do it alone without good lay next to them. Right. And so we want to be those good lay people next to those good clergy out there. I feel that we get rid of good lay leadership and send them into being clergy. And then some of us are now called to be clergy, and then we lose our magic the moment we go in, we have that color, right? And I feel that we have a lot to do, and we can be in a lot of places as lay leaders, and we need to keep empowering. And now that I'm working with Julia, having a lay person as the president of the House of Deputies, that shows that las barreras las construimos nosotros mismos. So vamos a tumbarlas y construir puentes en vez de barreras. So.
Yes, that's well said. That's right. So what about, I know that y'all grew up in the church, and you're both parents are pastors. You know, I'm sure I felt like I was under a microscope. Did y'all feel like that growing up? And
Girl.
yeah, well, you know, but tell me a little,
Growing up. You mean now yet still?
girl.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reality that that sort of makes you sometimes even grow up a little faster than other people. And it can be traumatizing. I mean, thankfully for us, we have a family system that, or we have a family that we are able to be vulnerable with each other. We're able to talk through a lot of things. But oh my gosh, yes, I could tell you stories about people, literally thinking that they have a part in our family because our parents are priests and they're their pastors, and because there is that relationship there. But a lot of people didn't see that there needed to be boundaries. Se querían meter en lo que no le importa, to be blunt. And I know me, I don't like people que se meten en mi vida sin razón, right? Because if it was something that actually was necessary, then yeah, I welcome it. But if it's something that's unnecessary, that people just feel entitled to say, yeah, of course, I'm going to react in a different way. But yeah, feeling that burden has always been there. And I think I still carry that, at least in a lot of ways, even living outside of the family now that I moved away. I'm not longer in Miami. I still carry that sometimes, and I have to catch myself and say, let that go, right? Like, just be you. And it's okay to be that. But I think it's a constant, for at least for me, to feel that everybody's looking because where you come from, who your parents are, that sort of thing. But
Yeah, as you can see, it's a touchy subject for some.
yeah, oh my gosh, I'm hot.
But no, I agree with her. And most people that know me, like my friends, are like, "Oh, you're two different people." They don't like, because
Right.
no, right? They're like, in church, I try to be more serious and more like, no, try not to make any mistakes, because I feel that all my actions reflect on my parents. And so, and sometimes there's people that merecen que, you know, uno le diga algunas cosas bien bonitas, right? But, you try to catch yourself and be like, no, I need to be not only a reflection of my parents, but I need to be a Christian, right?
Mhm.
And being a Christian and being a priest kid at the same time,
Ay, Dios
it's
mío.
kind of like a lot of weight to carry on your back. Um, and it has been a struggle sometimes in our lives, especially when you're a teenager and you're in those years that you just want to be wild, and then you can't, because you cannot be like the other kids. But in a way, it also taught us how to be better people, uh,
Yeah.
and also how to work with different people that have different mentalities, and give us like a heads up on like how the actual world works, right? Because in church we have different kinds of people, and then you are able to, from very young age, manage different kinds of people, the way people talk to you, the way you handle conflict, the way you become a leader in a group where you're the youngest person in there, right? So it also gave us a lot of good things. And so, and I'm going to say this, that I think that the reason why most priest kids leave church is because of that pressure. And we've been able to take the good part of that and use it to our advantage and still be in the church. And it's also because of, like Sandy said, we have a family structure that allows us to do that, because every Sunday we will have like a family time,
Mm.
and we'll come back to our house and reflect on the day, the things that we like, the things that we didn't like, how people acted towards stuff, even like criticize our parents' sermon.
Yep. Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we will talk about everything that happened on Sunday. And it's kind of like family therapy between ourselves.
Yeah.
And that therapy helped us like the next day move on and let things go, because we already talked about it. We already know how we're gonna deal with it. And so having those like intentional family moments, and every year we have a family retreat where we just like go somewhere, and then as a family we pray, we talk about different things about ourselves, about our jobs, about our ministries as a church. And
Mhm.
that has helped us to like destroy some things that hold us back as family, as individuals, right? I think there was a moment in our family where when we went out to college and we all had three different experiences of what college looked like, right? And that could have caused a lot of like friction and separation in the family. But when we were like at that retreat, like all those things came out. Like, I don't like the way you do this. I think that affects you, affects us. And we've been able to be better because of those things. And, you know, the family, our family is what keeps us going and gives us the strength to move forward.
That's amazing. Who started that about, to have the retreat?
I think it was a combination between Adia and Mommy. I think it was more Mommy. I think they realized that as clergy people, the end of the year is heavy. There's a lot of services and a lot going on, and for them especially, sometimes it's hard to leave, to take themselves out of that, and to say we also need time for ourselves, right? So it was a decision to be healthier, because the church, I've heard someone say the church can take away a lot from you, can take a lot from you, and sometimes not give you enough. The
Mm,
church, not Jesus, okay? Two different things. All right, people who listening, Jesus will give you all of it.
all of it.
Um, and has all you he can you all you need. But it was a decision to be healthier. And it was a decision to take care of ourselves as a family, a decision to see we're all adults now. um, some of us, me, don't live with the family, so this is an intentional moment, an intentional time that we've created intentional space away. Literally, the first thing is to find a place that is as far as far, not as far, but far from the house, the church, so that we're able to decompress, we're able to talk freely, no distractions, we're able to pray, we're able to even cry, but just help each other grow, and support each other in whatever we do. But it was a decision from, I think, my mom, and Adia helping kind of figure out how do we do this? How do we create this retreat for the Milien 5?
Wow, that's amazing. I will encourage you to continue that because I feel like sometimes you get to a point where it's like, this is, we're good now. But, this is such a beautiful thing that you can take, to your future, and go on from there. Wow, that's amazing. So in that, also thinking about that and thinking about the church at large, um, what do you think our churches need right now? Like, what do you think, from what you've seen? Because both of y'all are in different, you see different services, right? You see different churches, you see different things. Like you said, you critique your parents' sermons. I'm sure that they also can tell y'all what they've heard. So how do you? I'm sure. Como yo soy bien criticona de la iglesia, and so I'm sure y'all are too. So
And we
what
love it.
Thank you. But
Yeah.
what do y'all see that where our church, and I'm going to talk specifically about the Episcopal Church, where we can grow.
Mm. You want to take that out, or you want me to start?
Oh, that that is a very good question. Because there's a lot of good things about our church, but there's also things where we can grow and be better, right? And I just feel that I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but I think we need to be more authentic in who we are and who we claim to be. I feel that a lot of us in the church, and that's why I feel sometimes people come to our churches and don't connect with us, because we try to be a little bit of everything, and we try to be like, yeah, we love LGBTQ people, but we don't really want them. We welcome everybody, but you don't look like us, so maybe you should find another church. We want young people, but all the music that you guys want is too noisy. And so there's like always like we want this, but
Right.
um but we just feel very comfortable the way we are, right? And if we say like our slogan, our logo everywhere is we welcome all. That is why we have plaster everywhere, right?
Mm.
Sometimes that welcome all is not really true, right? And it depends on who you are to be welcome.
Mm.
Um, and I do believe, like I always say this to everybody. I took a class when I was in college that was teaching me about religions, because since I was born in the Episcopal Church, yo dije, yo soy biased, right? This is the only thing I know in my entire life.
Right.
So I said, déjame explorar. So I went to this class, and it was, I love that class because it literally took us to a service every week
Mhm.
of a different denomination. We will
Mhm.
go there, experience the service, then talk to the leaders, talk to the lay people in there, see the community, how, we can ask questions and feel what it will be like to be part of that community. And then after doing that, going to like different old Jewish, Buddhist, Baptist, Pentecostal, all those kind of um religions, I was like, bro, we have the best church. We do. I was like, we just don't realize it, but we
Oh my
do.
God.
Because we have the tradition, but we also have the freedom to be who we are, right? And so I just feel that um the Episcopal Church is the church that the world needs. They just don't know it yet. But we
Mm.
need to be able to have a place where people will actually come and feel that they can find God in the midst of our people,
Mm.
right? And so I think that this is where we need to work on being authentic, who we are, and actually practice what we preach, right?
Yeah.
So
And just to go along those lines, I think we need freedom.
Mm.
I think our church is stuck in itself. And it's this is not, eso no va a sonar bien, but in its Anglicanism, right? Yes, we are that. Yet we are so much more than that. We are humans. We need to be free to experience and live God however we want to, and not put parameters around what is it that we need to show when we are in communion together, right? I think our church needs a revival. And I know the presiding bishop has been about all of that, but we ourselves as Christians need it, as Episcopalians, but our communities need it. We need this to be something that happens together, not just like, oh, we do it here, we do it here. No, we need to put ourselves together and decide we want to feel the love of Jesus and share that with other people. We need that freedom to express that to people and ourselves, right? We need to be able to show the people in the world that this is a place where you can be whoever you want to be. Not, if you want to sit during the Nicene Creed, you can sit during the Nicene Creed. The lady over there doesn't have to look at you like you're crazy. She don't know, what if I have something wrong with my leg, like we need to be that church. We need to be that church that is about authenticity, like Adia said, and a freedom to truly embody. And that's a word that I was talking about with a couple of friends yesterday. We need to embody Jesus, not just think about it. We need to embody who is it that we believe in, and also form ourselves and our people. I feel like there's a lot in our church. We need formation. We don't know who we are. I think there's a lack of understanding, like, who are we and who are we following truly. So yeah, we need freedom, authenticity, formation, a revival. We need all of it.
I also agree. One of the things that I get asked a lot, because again, I criticize the church so much, but I get asked a lot, like, why do you stay? And
right.
but like Adia was saying, I do think that we have one of the best, churches. And because I feel like the laws that we have, the canons, all that stuff, like to me, it is good. Yes, it's not perfect, but
Right.
it is something that it's an aspiration, I think. And like y'all are saying, we just need to get there though. And how do we get there if, like you're saying, Sandy, if we don't know who we are, how do we get to be who we are, right?
And who we think we are is not who we should be.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Who we think we are because of where we come from originally, our forefathers, mothers, well, fathers, because hello, let's be real.
If there were mothers, it would be totally different.
Exactly. Tú sabes, si las mujeres tuvieran el poder, esta iglesia estuviera de otra manera, pero no podemos, vamos, But exactly, who we are shouldn't be. I forgot what I said, but continue, Sandra.
Bar shouldn't be, yeah. That's
Right.
it's true, and the thing is, for me also, I'm not Episcopalian first. I'm a follower of Jesus first.
Amen. Yes.
I'm not also, when you say I'm a Christian, people are like, oh, there's this view of Christianity, but it's, followers of Jesus is different, right? And so that's how I see it too. I need to remember that I'm not trying to make Episcopalians. I'm trying to make followers of Jesus,
Yes.
of Jesus, right? Tell me what you do, to do. I remember, Sandy, a couple of years ago, right in the middle of pandemic, you talked to us about self-care. And I don't know if you remember that, but you talked to us about self-care here at the Episcopal Church Foundation also. So tell me what you're doing, because I know y'all are so busy. What
Yeah.
are y'all doing now, for self-care?
Oh, that's a heavy question because I am not great at it, but I am better at it because of our family retreats and because realizing that this is important. Um, so if you know me, I love to dance.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I don't need music to dance. I just love to move up my body. It's such a way to decompress. So I do that a lot. I live alone, so no one can judge me, and I can put as whatever music I want. So I do that. And then during the pandemic, I feel like I saw your answer, Adia. Maybe I don't know. Um, Adia was like, Sandy, why don't we just work out together? I was like, okay, great. I'm here in Bethlehem. You're in Miami. That's a good way to stay connected, to see each other more. So we started working out together almost every afternoon during the week. So like 3 to 4 days a week. So we gathered together. It was just the two of us. And then we had another person. And then we had another person. So now we created a community of women that work out together, that check in on each other, that are striving to stay healthy in this world full of stress. So we gather for an hour and we just sweat, and they say what I do, they do what I say. And I love that because, who doesn't like to boss people around, especially if your older sister. Hello. So I do that, and I dance, I work out, and I read. I try to read fun things. I try to read also things that make me think about the world and challenge my mind and my brain. So yeah, those sort of things.
Yeah. Yes. So Sandy said a little bit about what we do, which is like the workouts during the week. And it's just it was something that I started because I wanted to, because I was sitting down all the time. I work sitting down, and I just needed something to make me move. And now we have other people, even friends from the Dominican Republic, just join, and we just work out together. So that's very nice. And we do dance at worship as well, which is with Christian music, which will praise and dance at the same time, which is very, very nice and healing, because singing those songs and then moving your body with them is just very healing. And another thing that I do, excuse me, to decompress, I love to plan things. I'm a I'm a dreamer about things that I want to do, and not only for fun, but just like for like the kids in my church, and it just makes me happy to go and plan things for like, maybe in 5 years we can do this. This is something that I want to do, and how I'll make it happen. And it's just something that I do to make me just believe that there's something that's going to be better, and it just calms me down, and I just feel that I have control at least of some things that get done. But um I also love like spending time with my my parents and my brother, and we catch up with each other and talk about the week. And so it's just that kind of connection. And we FaceTime Sandy so she can be part of that too. So we try to do that from time to time. And you know, our family is just very powerful to me, and the way that it uplifts me
Yeah.
to keep going sometimes when I just feel that I don't have enough strength to keep going, because sometimes church, like Sandy said, can take away so much from you. And then I feel sometimes that I'm doing way too much and I don't have time for myself because I volunteer for everything. And then I have my own life. And then I was just like one thing after another. And sometimes, people disappoint you. And when people disappoint you in your own church, and everybody said that it went great, and then your own people are like, that was awful. We don't.
Yeah.
And then so you're just like, oh my God. Uh, and so that like takes me down. But then I just have my family saying, you didn't do it for them, you did it for Jesus. And the people who needed it at that moment, they they were served, and then they got it.
Yeah.
And then I was just, yeah, I can do it again, again and again and again because of that. So
Mm. That's awesome. When you were talking about planning, I love to plan too, but I feel like, well, what's funny is like you're saying though, the dream, right? It's for me, it's that daydreaming that
mhm.
I love to do too. So I love that you said that, because sometimes I'm like, I wonder if this is something, but I just feel it like I want to do it, and I buy myself little books and little pens so that I can do it cute and all this stuff. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so I know that y'all are both so busy. I want to thank you again for your time, but I just want to ask y'all, personal, just something personal about you. Um, ¿Cómo están? Like you personally, because we've been talking about your ministry, we've been talking about your family, but what about you? ¿Cómo estás tú? How are you, Sandy, right now? How can we lift you up in prayer? How can we, root for you? I mean, being a canon, that's huge. I
I
just
know.
couldn't believe it. When I was like, "Ah, that's so amazing."
In
You know,
LA, Canon,
that's what I'm saying. How many are there?
Yeah. So for those of you out there, it's an honorary title for the work that a person has done in the church. Um, and I got it a year into my job here, and I'm still struggling. And I think there's a lot there to unpack, and we don't have all the time to use that title, right? To say, to introduce myself with it when I go around the church and all of that, and even in stuff like this. Um, but lately I spoke to one of the other canons here, and she has sort of encouraged and guided me through this, because this is not about you, this is about who you represent. There were a lot of us. When I say us, I mean us, la gente con colorcito, you know what I'm saying. There were a lot of us in the past, our ancestors, that didn't even have a name, you know what I'm saying. So for a 27-year-old Black, young, Latina.
Woman.
Exacto. Dilo, Aria. To be installed as a canon, a lay person in the Episcopal Church, that's huge. So she put it all into perspective, and it made me so proud of where I come from. And like Adia said at the beginning, our grandfather, no, our great grandfather is so proud right now. Our ancestors are so proud because their dream has been accomplished. And there's so much more, that's coming, and I believe it, and I know it. So that I'm the canon for racial reconciliation and community engagement in the Diocese of Bethlehem, and so many other things here. Church planter, fun girl, But how am I? I'm a little overwhelmed. The church is at a transition, I think, everywhere, but especially in this region. There's a lot going on, and I tend to just say, let's do it, and forget that I need to take care of myself. That's what I said at the beginning. Sometimes it's hard for me to remove myself from it and take care and do self-care. So I'm overwhelmed, but I'm excited at the same time. I see so much potential here, and I see that God is working. Um, if you could pray for my ministry, but also pray for my health and my sanity, and for me to say, this can wait. This I need to do something for me, something fun, something that would bring me, so much more joy. Without thinking about the institution and whatever needs to be done. But other than that, I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm excited to take a break soon, go home and visit the fam and be warm because I'm a Caribbean. Esta sangre le gusta el calor, y aquí en PA it's a little cold, especially
Oh.
now in the fall. But I think that I'm good. A little overwhelmed, but trusting that there are good things coming, and God is going to use me and use other people to do the work.
Yeah. um I started like 2 weeks ago. uh
Yeah.
um I think it's a week. It was sooner than that. It's like working as the director of communications for the president of the House of Deputies, which is Julia Jala, another Latina. I was like so excited.
Yeah.
And now in this moment of my life, I am very excited and hopeful of the things that we can do. I know that change comes not really fast in the way we want, and I know that we have a lot of dreams, but like I had this conversation with Julia when we talked about um when she was hiring me, that even though there's not a lot of things we can do, there's still something that we can do, right?
Mhm.
And even if we cannot open doors, we can open windows so people can go through them,
Yeah.
and see the change. And so in this moment, I'm really excited about this transition in my life, working. Um, and I left a great job at the Diocese of California, and now doing better things. That we're going to be able to do together. So I'm excited for that, and having representation in higher places in the
Yes.
church, and what that representation looks like. And I was telling Julia, you and I are both Latina and we don't look the same. And this is what we
Amen.
need to see, right? And so I'm super excited and hopeful for that. I'm also a little bit stressed because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fill the position and do all the things that people expect me, because they put a lot of pressure on people like us, because now you're in that position, now you need to change the world. So
I know. Then help me change the world.
Right.
Don't criticize me. Sorry.
exactly. And so
That's right.
I feel a little stressed from time to time about am I gonna be able to do what people hope that I will do in that position. But um I'm more excited than anything, and I want everybody to pray for me and Julia in this new moment and step in our lives. And we're just hopeful, and I want to keep that hope going, because sometimes um hope is all that you can have, right? And I think it was Sandy's co-worker that said that you need to have um hope in the wait, right, of the change, right? Because sometimes like we want change right now, and then when it doesn't come really fast, we lose the faith. But if we have hope in the wait,
Yeah.
we can still go, and then when we get there, we're not disappointed because we were hopeful the whole time.
Yeah.
So high hopes throughout this whole time. And I want people to pray for us, to pray for the church to have more people um that looks like us in positions of power. I want our church to think about having people like us. Sometimes the excuse is like, oh, nobody applies for this position, but are you looking for them?
Are you doing the work?
Are you doing the work? And so um And that's what I appreciate about Julia. She went out and looked for one, right? So that's what we all need to do. We need to go out there and be like fishermen of people, just like Jesus said, right? And we need to be a fisherman of all types of fish. So
That's right.
Yeah, Adia, you will be able to do the job, and you
Yeah.
will be more amazing than you can even imagine. I am certain of it. I mean, just having you there for me is already a win. And I'm so excited and hopeful for our church. One of the things that Kelly Brown Douglas has said before is about her ancestors. I think she was also talking about her great grandma, who she says she believed and fought for the freedom that she knew she would never see.
Yes.
But she knew that it would come for other people. So like when you're talking about your great grandfather, it's like and our ancestors, right, that did not have names, but now they know our names and we can say
Yeah.
presente for them in our roles, right? So again, I am
appreciate
so grateful for y'all. You both, I mean, it's just such un orgullo, to just have these beautiful, intelligent, young, Black Latinas with amazing hair and wonderful fashion and all. I mean, I'm sorry y'all, but I like all that stuff, so that's important to me. It may not be important for other people, but for me it is, right? So but it's just incredible to see y'all, and I can't even imagine where else you're going. I love that I can tell my great niece, mira Sandy, mira Adia, and mira lo que puedes hacer. You can go there and even further. So it's beautiful to have you guys. I'm sure that there are so many little girls out there who are looking at y'all and going like, wow, si se puede. And it's time. And y'all make our church so much better. You make the world much better. And I hear about y'all all the time, by the way. So it's really cool to hear about you from other people, and just know that you know, I think the majority, even if you may not hear it, we're rooting for y'all. We love you. We're proud of you. And I just thank your parents, for not only for having you, but for listening to you and encouraging you. Because I know that y'all are here because of your parents too.
Amen.
Again, thank you so much. I learned so much from y'all, and keep going and get that money, Gunny. Get that money.
Thank you so much, Sandra. And I just want to say before we go, we're also here because of people like you.
Amen. Yes.
Because you are an example of like a good lay Latina in the church. And I am very
Fearless.
um
Fearless. Okay.
to have met you and also to be your friend. I don't know if you're my friend, but I'm your friend.
Absolutely. Please call me friend, honey. Are you kidding me? I'm like, ay, mi amiga, look where she's
Ya
at.
tenemos los digits. We friends. Okay.
So
BFFs, girls, BFFs.
yes, so I'm very honored to be in the presence of you, someone like you who has opened doors for many Latinos as well. Like when I was much younger, I was like listening to Sandra and seeing her everywhere, just singing and representando Latinos en todas partes, en la convención general, en todas partes, like using your voice to sing our songs for people. That is very powerful, and I want to say that when I hear you sing, it touches my soul. And so I'm very grateful for you and the work that you keep doing, and you also open doors for other people, which is like something that sometimes when people that I think it was you who said it too, who said that estamos pensando en escasez, so whenever we have something we don't want to share. And so, but you're one of those people, there's always room for more, so let's just welcome more people. So thank you for that.
And your family.
Yes,
Another great example. So.
another great family too.
That's right. We got great families, girl. I know. I wish that we had, other men in our family that, or women to, pair y'all up with. Pero,
Imagine Montes and Milien together.
Ay, Dios mío. Ay, do you imagine that? Lord. Bueno.
Well. So thank y'all so much. Nos vemos. But stay just a little bit. I'm gonna stop recording. Thank y'all so much.